Welcome to Dr. TSPR show. This is Dr. Tangella Shiva Prasad Reddy alias Dr. TSPR. Namaste, Adab, hello. The guest is Professor R. Ramesh Reddy, former
Namaste.
former principal and dean, Usmania Engineering College, Usmania University, and he is also convener TCPC, Telangana Citizens Protection Council. This is an important show. People have to understand every time when there is need, necessity to work in larger public interest, it is Professor Ramesh Reddy Garu, none other than him, who always focuses on the need of the hour rather than castigating someone or sitting at home doing nothing. So the topic is the world in the safe hands? Why we have selected this topic is, since last February 2020 was with me, right from the corona pandemic, what is happening, how this pandemic has switched into different variants, killing people across, making people to go panic. ప్రజల ప్రాణాలతో పాటు ప్రజల భయాందోళనకు గురి చేసేటువంటి ఈ మహమ్మారి, కరోనా మహమ్మారి గత సంవత్సరం నుంచి చేస్తూ ఉంటే వారు మన వెంట ఉండి అన్ని ఆధారాలతో బయట పెట్టుకుంటూ అసలు దీనికి మూల కారణాలు ఏంటివి అని కూడా చెప్పాం. ఏ విధంగా ఇది స్ప్రెడ్ అవుతుంది, వ్యాప్తి చెందుతుంది, హౌ దిస్ విల్ స్ప్రెడ్, వాట్ ఆర్ ది రీజన్స్, వీ హ్యావ్ బీన్ వెరీ కేటగిరికల్ అండ్ క్లియర్ ఇన్ ది సేమ్ పర్సూట్ వాట్ ఈస్ హ్యాపెనింగ్ నౌ ఇన్ స్పైట్ ఆఫ్ లీగల్ ఎవిడెన్సెస్ that there is some medicine in the name of Krishnapatnam Anandaya Ayurveda Corona medicine. I have written mails to Indian Council of Medical Research requesting Honorable Prime Minister of India, Honorable Chief Justice of Supreme Court, to all other concerned, including Chief Ministers, respective Chief Ministers of states, including the Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister, as to why is that ICMR and the governments, union and state governments, are ignoring Anandaya's corona medicine in spite of Andhra Pradesh High Court giving clearance to all 4 types of medicines except stopping one, that eye medicine. Even that also we have tried to put it across so that the High Court will understand what are the ingredients, how important the eye medicine is. For that reason we are taking up this show. Let me again present the scientific evidences so that why we are making this show. We are not trying to blame anyone, but at the same time we can't sit down and glorify the laurels when people are dying. Mind you, when people are dying we cannot sit at glorifying, and when health is wealth, the health of people matter, we cannot sit quiet. When evidences are there, why is that government not trying to come to the rescue of people by invoking that essential emergency act as was given to vaccines which have not gone through third stage of trial? There is no data also. Even the treatment protocols of corona, every day they keep on changing, whether it is WHO, ICMR or government. Indian Medical Association is silent on that. Where is the data? When you want a patient to sign a consent form either to get into ICU for surgery, then how is that you are not allowing Krishnapatnam corona medicine? That is the logic. You are not confident there. When that is the case, when people say that we have been cured, this medicine is acting as a curative, preventive, in even multi-organ damages also when it is acting, why not you scientifically validate it? We have presented through Dr. TSPR channel by the leading botanists and the biodiversity seniors who are experienced. They have come out and clearly stated what is there in Anandaya's Ayurveda Corona medicine. In spite of that, in spite of Andhra Pradesh High Court giving clearance, why is that Andhra Pradesh government and the union government are silent? They say free vaccine, why not free Krishnapatnam Corona medicine? That is the logic. To defy that logic, this is the show. We are trying to put the facts across to you. Once again, the Banaras University presented the scientific evidences. We are trying to bring it to you. All these are on the screen for you to understand what type of medicines, what type of ingredients, how these ingredients, in spite of being non-harmful, still why they are not being considered by union government and state governments? That's $1 million question. Every citizen of this country should be questioning union government, Indian Council of Medical Research, as well as all the chief ministers. They are making us to get into fear psychosis, lockdown after lockdown. There is no income for people. People are suffering. They are fearing for their lives. When there is a medicine, Ayurveda medicine, you say Swadeshi Jagran Manch, indigenous, when our own indigenous medicine, when people are ready to take, you take the consent form as the warrants in allopathy. Why are you not promoting this? This is $1 million question. For that reason, this is the show. Again, we are trying to display all the facts on your screen. Hope you will appreciate what is there in Anandaya's Corona medicine. This is official version only, we are putting it across. Kindly understand. And even why the eye medicine has not been cleared by state government, that beats the intelligence of everyone. Kindly understand. These are all facts in front of you. The show runs on the facts, identifying the plants as to what is there in those plants. Local name and scientific name. Once again for you on the screen. I hope at least with this, every citizen will understand what is there in Anandaya's Ayurveda Corona medicine. The same thing, what the medicines are being used for as treatment protocols, are they displaying it? Let them display it, we'll challenge it. How they are working, they have to show. Whether they are working or not, they have to show. Why people are dying, they have to give a reason, a cause for that. Is there any documentation? Is there any data? Here is the data of this Anandaya's medicine, which is Swadeshi. This could help all Indians instead of using unproved vaccines. There is no data for that. Why not we use our indigenous thing? Let people who are willing to use, let them use it. Why is that central government and state governments are silent? That is the topic. That is why today is the world in safer hands, because it's not just India. For every citizen on this earth, of every citizen of every country is suffering. When here is a healing, when he says it can act as preventive as well as curative for moderate and severe corona illnesses. Why not you adopt this? Why is union government, state governments are silent? Even for that matter, why is even the so-called this government is also silent? They have to give the reasons. Is it in the larger public interest or not? Why is this government silent? That is where it is creating in the doubts. Everything else on your screen, please. These have been taken from Vedas, Upanishads. Since ages, years, we have been using this. We are again presenting it. Honey can be boiled. Recipe of C in the form of linctus. These are all from Vastu Guna Deepika. It is not Dr. Shiva Prasad Reddy who is trying to create this. These are all there very much in the. This is a scientific presentation once again for the world. Why is this medicine not being accepted? Why this medicine is not being accepted? That is where the logic lies. That is where today's topic is the world, including India, state after state. Are they in the safe hands? Ramesh Reddy gar, I hope I have been very clear with this presentation.
Yes,
Once
sir.
again,
Excellent beginning. Excellent beginning.
because they say that we don't have anything. Now we are presenting them to the world once again. Now the floor is yours, Ramesh Reddy gar. You are an academician. On par,
Thank
you
you
have a
very much,
farm
sir.
also.
Let us first visualize. See,
Sir.
the whole world is suffering because of corona. And there is no medicine which can cure it. In fact, allopathy has no medicine for any diseases. They are only suppressive medicines. And this corona is a unique situation. Just by suppression, nothing happens. Patient will die. Therefore, the only thing is remedy, uproot. corona from the patient, from the people. That is more important. And as we think this vaccine, at least it is not tested properly, but it they wanted to use. Hospitals, corporate hospitals, and so many hospitals, they are admitting patients without knowing what is the medication, what is the procedure, how they had to do. Oxygen shortage was there. Then they used industrial oxygen. Industrial oxygen is not so pure as medical oxygen needs. Medical oxygen needs, they cannot
చెప్పండి సార్.
afford to have any contamination. Whereas industrial oxygen, it has some contamination. It is not so pure. And that resulted into fungus. And black fungus, white fungus, yellow fungus, all these things are happening. So under these circumstances, allopathy cannot be trusted. These corporate hospitals cannot be trusted. These research labs and pharmaceutical companies which are producing the medicines, they cannot be trusted. These vaccine also, it may resist, but they themselves are not sure. They say after 2 years patients, people who have taken now may also face lot of problems. Some people say every 6 months we have to give booster dosage. All this is uncertain situation they have created. The whole world is suffering because of this uncertainty approach. And none of the governments are positively thinking in this direction. Because few things we have to understand. From China only we all know, although world leaders are not in a position to pinpoint, but the evidences indicate it is China which is the root cause for the corona. Origin of corona is from China Wuhan lab itself. And under these circumstances, they also today itself we came to know that Chinese, even before creating the virus, well in advance, they also find out the solution how to control that, and they are using for that one. It is something from 2000 onwards we have to understand that all over the world, bioterrorism as a department has come on. So people from 2000 AD, even in Osmania University, Center for Bioterrorism was created. I was inquiring why, what is the need? So then I was told, world is going to enter into bioterrorism or biowars. Therefore, we should be prepared, well prepared. But after the person who was in charge has retired, that has been completely neglected. Like that, worldwide, various universities are working on bioterrorism. Therefore, Wuhan lab is no exception. They worked very well, and they have, it seems, thousands of other viruses also they are studying. So therefore, there is a danger lurking from China. While China would like to have its hegemony over all over the world, and from my personal experience, China is well equipped on various fronts, be it technology, be it construction, or be it information technology, or biological sciences, or terrorism. Any aspects, they are way ahead of rest of the world. It is very difficult for any other country to match them, including USA. Even if USA, Russia, Australia, Britain, all France join together also, they fail far behind the China. Therefore, it is very difficult to control, contain China releasing more number of viruses. Added to that, the Bill Gates is another most dangerous person who is taking so much of interest in all the labs and funding every lab for doing research in these corona and the solutions to find the solution to corona. $30 billion Walmart chief has given him donation. He has put in around 23 billion. Where is that he is spending that money? To start with, AIDS he wanted to uproot. Africa he did lot of work. One of the doctors is also in charge from Hyderabad, Dr. Srikanth Reddy. He is the chairman for entire Melinda Gates Foundation Asia region, Asia Pacific region. So with this, his focus is on various aspects of bioterrorism in the world. And why he is interested in that one? With China also he has an understanding. He has given all the he has given the most important chief of entire world's lab research going on in this area, corona area. So with that, what is his interest? Why he has come? What for? So ultimately in Africa, they realized that instead of trying to cure the AIDS, it is better to get rid of AIDS patient. Similarly, that once that interest has come in him to eliminate the patients, eliminate the people itself, then his mind has thought, he made best use of China also. He has gone there. He has set up his industry activity, and he is working in that area also. So all over the world, wherever research is going on, that research of corona or virus is purely on the advice of Mr. Bill Gates. And this Bill Gates is an illiterate. What knowledge he has about this area? Why he should enter into the pharmaceutical side or medical research? Why all the bigwigs of these medical labs and research institutions and the worldwide leaders, why they have accepted him as the super boss on the world in this area? What is their intention? Elon Musk wanted to create in Mars. He wanted to create a housing projects. And what sort of a people? See, Tinna Dargaka, because they have earned so much money, they don't know what to do. They are creating problems for the earth and the people on the earth, and they wanted to go to some other planet. This sort of a approach is very dangerous and it is counterproductive. Neither they will be happy, nor they will let the world will be happy. Under these circumstances, Bill Gates is the number one culprit. We should be suspected. He should be just removed from given more simple, because he has given lot of funding to World Health Organization. World Health Organization think that he is the super boss. See, funding is different and knowledge is different. See, any financial superiority, they should give donations and allow them to work on their own. But he is giving the directions how they should work. Real businessman, like, he is giving direction. These are the parameters on which you should work, and that is how he is giving donation. And for the lack of donation funding, various labs are accepting him as the hero of their lab, savior of the labs, or the messiah of the lab. But the real intentions, we have to understand, they don't want such a huge population. They feel it is very difficult to be fed. And another thing, since artificial intelligence has come, robotics are also likely to come into the field. There is a lot of discussion going on in the world that once robots are introduced, there will be a lot of unemployment for the manpower. And this unemployment will create problem. But they are also thinking that they can give freely, they distribute money to the people at home, allow them to eat on their own or do whatever they want from sitting at home, but no work for them. Their brain need not work. So these robots, once they come, it is again a danger. There may be a war between man and robots also. Robots will conquer and destroy human forces. So when a situation of robots, capacity of the robots is to destroy the mankind, and the virus which is likely to weaken the mankind, and a lot of research is going on how to weaken the man force. Under these circumstances, large number of human people will be destroyed and they will die. And in India, the most vulnerable is India among all nations. Africa, of course, is there, but there are a number of nations. But India is one nation where large population is there next to China, and there is a lot of malnutrition, poverty, unemployment, illiteracy. This will definitely help Bill Gates to ensure that such population is destroyed in India. It is a dangerous situation. India has to wake up. That is one reason. And they invested thousands and lakhs of crores on this research. And all the hospitals have acquired latest equipment. And they resulted into a lot of investment. And they don't want people like Anandaya's medicine to come up to the international level, because they feel that they will be put to a lot of loss. All the corporate hospitals, all the research labs, vaccine-oriented labs, or drug labs, or further research, they will be put to rest, and there will be a great loss for all these activities. And therefore, India is also a party, because they will be happy to get rid of large population which is useless and non-productive population. and they are also working in that direction. ICMR, Indian Council for Medical Research, it has no locus standi to comment on Ayurvedic medicine. They have no knowledge. The only organization which can comment is Ayush. Ayush is one thing for various other Ayurveda, Unani, and other things, homeopathy. For all these things, Ayush is there. It is they who should come. No, nobody other than them, nobody has right to question the Anandaya's medicine. And Ananda medicine has proved to be very popular among the people, and it proved to be effective even from the scientific research. And it all the ingredients that they are using are well listed in biodiversity conferences and books. They are also well listed in various Ayurvedic texts, and there is nothing to be worried, and it should be implemented. All these 2000 years, Ayurveda nobody questioned. Why now they are questioning? It's only their selfish interest, their personal gains, and their investment profits. That's the only objective, it looks to me. And therefore, people have to understand, outright
even though
reject these medical practices which are not fruitful, which are not tested. These vaccines also.
And another paper was
they say 4 weeks,
the Indian-
sometimes they say 6 weeks. Now they are saying 12 weeks because of lack of facilities. And they don't understand the seriousness of these medical applications. And the governments are just towing, and Indian government, state government, they are more busy with the political bickerings rather than people's interest. This is very unfortunate. People have to realize, understand, throw them out, and create a new order for political order, not necessarily Rajakiyam, but it should be purely Prajakiyam, where people take the decision and the elected representative implement those decisions of the people. That is very important. So there has to be percent. Otherwise, this nation will suffer, the world will suffer, and we will see a lot of deaths and destruction and the exploitation. And the money is one thing which is about money only. Everybody is revolving. In fact, man created money, but today man has become a slave to money, and the money is dictating everything in the lives of the people also. Therefore, we have to be very alert. We have to advise the government, and rightly, Dr. Shivaprasad Reddy in his introduction has pinpointed that why governments are not taking interest in Anandayas and give a free distribution, while they want to give free vaccine. Even in case of vaccine, they dilly-dallied each time. Sometimes they say 800 rupees, sometimes 1200 rupees, sometimes. Prime Minister need not come to the screen and say Remdesivir is one of the best. Please buy for 1200 or 1600 rupees. Why is he promoting this? What is his special interest in promoting these vaccines or medicines? And why he is silent? And all the time he is very proud of the ancient past of the India, but the ancient medicine Ayurveda, why he is ignoring? Why he is neglecting? I am 100% sure. I experienced it, and I'll say that Ayurveda is one of the best medicines. Never does any harm. It uproots the diseases, and the chances of again reoccurrence is not at all there. Therefore, government has to come forward, take the initiative, encourage Anandayas medicine. Ananda is not the only one, but luckily he has been in media and other places because of the people's interest. He has come into the forefront. But there are number of Anandayas in various villages who are working silently on encouraging Ayurveda, using Ayurveda effectively for the people in that region.
Yes.
Even for vaccine, we heard that when they are going to villages, people are running away from the taking the vaccine. They are so scared. They feel that all these vaccines.
There is a history. There is a history.
Therefore, this sort of Ayurvedic medicines we
Right.
have to encourage and
Just-
find out take out the statistics and
Right.
allow them to come forward. Various other Ayurvedic formulators or
Yeah.
Ayurvedic doctors, and unfortunately, doctors in urban areas, Ayurvedic doctors in urban areas, they don't know the availability of these various medicinal plants, in which part what is available. They are only using ready-made Ayurvedic formulation tablets or tube.
That has become a curse. That has become a curse. Yeah, Ramesh Reddy garu, I'll just try to play a video which is being in wide circulation as to what is happening in the world. whether the Indian government and the Indian Union Ministry of Health, likewise all the state governments, are working in the welfare, larger public interest or not. If such is the case, they should have accepted Anandaya's medicine in the first day itself. 3 weeks they have delayed so many deaths. Who is going to take responsibility? Union government or state government? And people have to question them because unproved medicines you have adopted for cure in corona. Unproved vaccines for emergency use, you are trying to thrust it on the people. It is should be voluntary. We are a constitutional authority. Right to life and liberty rests with us. Who are you to force us? And it is our health. For no reason, there is no medicine. Lakhs of rupees are collected. Patients are dying. People are dying, and people are panicking. Union and state government doesn't bother on that. They want to pump vaccines, unproved vaccines, and the treatment protocols which have no data at all. No data. That is what they have been sending me messages. So I am reading. They are also questioning if you why the hell they take consent form when you get them into ICU or surgery, for that matter when they get admitted. That means you are not sure of your own treatment therapy. When such is the case, when an Anandaya medicine has come to the fore, why are you not allowing it? Why are you trying to create problems? Now say free vaccination. Now you understood the potential of Anandaya's medicine. Israel announces in 3 days they will cure without vaccination. Here is Honorable Prime Minister. We welcome it. You are saying, but at what cost? If you are saying that, if you say that you are going to protect India, ancient culture, you have released it, even you are changing the syllabus of right from school levels to PG levels. In such cases, why is that you are not accepting Anandaya's medicine? You are not allowing it to be given to people. Why? For that reason only this show. And let me just share and let me share some video which has been in circulation for a long time.
Been a journalist since for about, in fact,
He is a senior journalist who is appearing on a
years
channel.
now. So I have been in and out of jobs for the last many years now. So I'm no longer working for any media organization for many years now.
Let all concerned act if
But
there is
I
no
have,
truth in this.
Had about 12 years of experience of working with PTI, Press Trust of India, working with Business Today magazine and other organizations. So I also had a stint as a bit of an activist, as a local democracy activist and RT activist. So that is my experience, and so I've been.
It is
kind of
Anarchy for Freedom
combining my
website.
journalism with
They have
a
sent
bit
us
of
when we announced
activism.
this topic today.
And my experience with of writing for PHFI actually relates to both my experience as a journalist as well as my experience as an activist, because this is something that I did outside my any regular media. Articles, long articles, series of articles for India. All of them represented on the PHFI board. Mahindra was the chairman of.
This is how fast YouTube is with
This
Brave.
is problem. This
Notice
is the
how there's no
problem.
pre-roll ads? And here's how you can see how much.
Which was the chairman of PHFI once, I think in 2014.
Public Health Foundation of India. Is it ruling the roost in India? We are
All
trying to
the
present those
managers of
facts.
India are actually represented on the PHFI board. So, if there's one
Why
body,
is
then
union
I
and
can
state
see
governments
any
not
other
acting?
body
Is this for this reason?
So there's one body, and this body is implanted right inside the government of India, which means it has all the government power. It is more powerful than the Ministry of Health. I mean, if you file an RTI or if you file an RTI about PHFI with the government of India, it will go directly. No person in the Ministry of Health will actually touch this or respond to your RTI. It will go directly to the PHFI. So that is the kind of authority PHFI enjoys in the government of India. If you file a complaint against PHFI India, any
Public Health
against
Foundation
any
of India,
government,
PHFI.
you will find that this complaint will be directly forwarded to the PHFI. That is the kind of clout that PHFI enjoys in the government of India. That's why I've called it the deep state. So
Union
for the last
government
3-4 months
and
that I've been blogging
ICMR,
about PHFI,
all state chief ministers have to answer this, respond to this. Is it for this
I
reason you are
call it
neglecting
as the deep
Anandaya's
state.
medicine, our own indigenous
Because
medicine,
this is the
Ayurveda
body
medicine?
which has been, pulling the strings. This this is the body which has been influencing all the events in India related to public health and the activities of the Gates Foundation, the activities of these, these globalist criminals, health imperialists, medical imperialists. So, and then, of course, there are a number of revolving doors between PHFI, Government of India, WHO, and IHME, which is Institute of Health Metrics and Evaluation, another body, a fraudulent body set up by the Gates Foundation, which actually gave these fraudulent, epidemiological models on which these, genocidal lockdowns were based in the United States, in India, and elsewhere. So a number of health organizations which have direct connections with the Gates Foundation, and there's hardly any health organization now in the world which doesn't have a connection with the Gates Foundation, which hasn't received some kind of funding, some kind of support from the Gates Foundation. And so the number of revolving doors that I've explored since 2011 between PHFI and other organizations, and I continue to do so now that I have a new perspective on PHFI, which is that this is the body which was actually set up to pave the way for this kind of seismic events of global importance, like what we are witnessing now, which is a global coup d'etat, I would say, of the Gates Foundation and other globalist criminals to actually impose a kind of global medical imperialism on the world. And then this global medical imperialism then, pans out into an imperialism which actually encompasses all aspects of your life, not just health, not just public health, but all, and which is now can be seen on the World Economic Forum's website of in terms of the material that they have put up as a Great Reset. Now they are calling it the Great Reset. So this whole pandemic fraud now has gone into this overall scenario of what kind of recasting of human life is being done, or planning is being done by these globalist criminals in terms
on research that Trust, Ambani's NGO, they all work in concert to basically push the globalist agenda on the world. And if you see Gates' statements, you spoke about the event 201 that took place, but this is a familiar thing you'll find when you're investigating many false flags. Like even on the morning of 9/11, there were simulations like exact was a deadly sort of the same topic.
And the first thing that struck me about PHFI was that, it was set up a year before.
Here, we have light tanks.
This is a problem, unnecessarily
Fast.
ads.
Yet vulnerable.
I'm talking about 2007, so a year before it was set up in 2006. So the first thing that struck me was, what kind, is it some public kind of body, or is it some private body, or what? So it was neither of it. Actually, it was neither a public body nor a private body, and I couldn't actually see anything in terms of some kind of contract that the government may have signed with all these people. So it was described as a multi-stakeholder public-private partnership. So multi-stakeholder means you have many stakeholders, then it is a public-private partnership. So PPP was a word that was actually emblazoned across all the promotional material of PHFI. And of course, the fact that the Manmohan Singh himself actually launched this organization in March 2006. So that is something that was their only point to highlight, to advertise. But we are launched by the Prime Minister himself, so we are great. It's like that. Otherwise, there was no background to public health, nothing. So you have Rajat Gupta, who was a McKinsey head. So what does he have to do with public health? Nothing. Then you have others, guys like Mukesh Ambani, who was sitting on the board, and others. So what do they have with public health? Nothing. So so this is a kind of question that I had. So what is this whole business of public-private partnership? And that is what I asked him about when I met him in that meeting. So that meeting took place in Delhi, So they had a rented office in one of the one of the buildings owned by a business chamber in South Delhi. So I met them there, and I was ushered into a conference room by a very hefty guy who looked like some kind of bouncer, and he actually finally he acted as a kind of bouncer after the end of the meeting. So first came this guy, K. Srinath Reddy. So K. Srinath Reddy has been the founding president of BHFI. He was a AIMS cardiologist who was also a doctor, official doctor of Manmohan Singh as Prime Minister, and in UPA1.
You can find this
So,
Anarchy for
he
Freedom
was
India
made
from
the
where this
president of,
they have sent, and we are trying to play
BHFI
this.
Initially on a deputation or secondment from AIMS to the BHFI. And the chairman was Rajat Gupta of McKinsey. So Rajat Gupta was a darling of business press because he was, I think, the first Indian head of the managing director of the global consulting firm McKinsey, and therefore he was glorified in the business press. Most business journalists, including myself, knew about him. So he said, we cannot create 6 lakh. We cannot train 6 lakh ashas. I mean, this is what Rajat Gupta told me. We cannot train 6 lakh ashas, but we can train the trainers who will.
I'm trying to edit.
Hijacking that took place in 2006 itself by the Gates Foundation of India's Public Health Administration. So that is, and who was Rajat Gupta? At that time, obviously, I did not realize that he is the henchman of Bill Gates. He was working for Bill Gates. He was actually at that time he was the chairman of the Global Development Program Advisory Panel of Gates Foundation, and an advisor to Bill Gates, and associated with the Gates Foundation in many other respects also perhaps with WHO and all. So he was already plugged into this global health agenda of the Bill Gates Foundation, and he was a kind of henchman hired by Bill Gates to subvert the government of India through PHFI and implant PHFI inside the government of India as a deep state, as a shadow government, which will decide the policy direction of India, health policy direction, as well as the entire administration, as well as also.
Is it true? Then Indian government has to, and respective chief minister, state administrations have to answer this, because the doubts are being raised. Why? Because Anandaya's medicine, in spite of Andhra Pradesh High Court clearance, the eye medicine still stalled. No one is coming forward to rationalize the distribution so that patients with moderate critical illnesses also can recover, and it is acting as a preventive also. Why are you not trying? Is this because of this reason? When lakhs and lakhs of rupees have to be spent and still patients are dying, no government is initiating action. Who is accountable here? Then untested vaccines, untested medicines are being thrust upon. Daily you keep on changing the protocols. Is it because of this reason? When indigenous medicine could have helped not only India, the world. For that reason, we are trying to just play the highlights.
Importantly, creating the entire cadre of people across India, a whole net. So I was very surprised because here we have Rajat Gupta totally there's other organizations in India. He was also the chairman of EMRI, which is a PPP in southern states of ambulance service PPP, and other organizations.
You can cross check all these organizations.
So then I thought I would write about it in February 2011. Then I began writing about it because he was the chairman of PHFI, and within PHFI was actually had all the government directors. All the government representation also. Health Secretary was there on the PHFI board. This is what the PHFI website said. Later we would found that all these, no government officer has any authorization from the government to be sitting on the PHFI board. This is what we got, the response that we got from to our RTI, request, which means PHFI, the board itself is fraudulent, because all the people who are supposed to be sitting, the government people, the health secretary and the earlier, the planning commission deputy chairman Montek Singh Ahluwalia was sitting on the PHFI board, and all these people, the government people who were sitting, and Manmohan Singh's, the secretary himself, Nair, TK Nair, who was his, personal secretary, he was sitting on the PHFI board. So in 2011, all these government people were sitting on the PHFI board, and the chairman of the PHFI board was a guy who was being investigated for securities fraud. So I thought this is a great story. So why is it that Manmohan Singh is not pulling out all these people, and his own secretary at least, who is now working under a person who might be arrested and who might be convicted and jailed in a few months from now? So, and nobody has done this story until now. In 2010, we are now sitting in 2020, and no mainstream media has picked up this story. And even after what Gates Foundation has been doing to India, nobody has actually picked up PHFI. People are maybe, even if people are talking about the Bill Gates, they're talking about the Gates Foundation, etc., and they're calling it all conspiracy theories and all. Nobody's examining PHFI, Public Health Foundation of India. So, in February 2011, I began writing, and it took me about, I think, 3 or 4 weeks to complete this article and publish in March 2011. And this article is the most comprehensive I've done. The longest at least I've done on PHFI, a 5,000-word article, where I actually lay out all the connections, all the revolving doors that they have with the government of India, how they have completely saturated all departments of the government of India and bought off top bureaucrats, secretary-level bureaucrats, who are then working for PHFI. And this is true. The kind of honeycombing that has taken place is amazing. Not just one ministry, which is Ministry of Health, also Ministry of Science and Technology, because CSIR was involved right from the beginning in the setting up of PHFI. R. Mashelkar was that fraudulent bureaucrat who actually took part in setting up PHFI along with Rajat Gupta, Ashok Alexander, and K. Srinath Reddy, etc. So there were more than one ministry actually involved in setting up PHFI, and they continue to be working for PHFI. Many of the bureaucrats are kind of that the government of India did not sign any contract.
Sorry, this I think we could not edit it properly. People.
Any concession agreement which is required to be signed for something to be a PPP with these Gates Foundation and other their partners, absolutely nothing. So they were just set up just like that. I mean, implanted into government of India without any basis, and they kept, including Manmohan Singh, his ministers actually kept repeating this over and over again for many years that PHFI is a PPP. Even a parliamentary panel asked them.
PP is public-private.
And they lied to the parliamentary panel. So there's a huge amount of falsehood and fraud that actually committed by the Manmohan Singh government and his ministers about PPP. They tried to misrepresent the true nature, the true purpose of PHFI, and they misled the parliament, they misled the public, they misled the parliamentary panels about the true nature and the true functions of the Public Health Foundation of India. So at the CIC, this Shailesh Gandhi, the Information Commissioner, asked them, so you have been advertising yourself as a PPP, so which means that we've taken from government, we've taken government help, we've taken government funds. So why don't you answer these questions? I mean, under Right to Information Act. So they said, sir, we are the council, the lawyer for the PHFI said that we are not exactly a PPP. We're not exactly a public-private partnership. We're more like a public-private initiative. Now, what is public-private initiative? Nothing. So obviously, it means nothing. So there have been actually RTI And I asked him in 2012, actually, not 2011. I asked him about their governing board, the composition of their governing board prevailing in 2006, because I wanted to know how actually, who are the people who were actually there on the governing board in 2006 when Rajat Gupta actually set up this body. And he gave me a false document, ready, under RTI. And this document is part of an article which I published in Money Life magazine, which is a Bombay-based, media organization run by Sucheta Dalal, who is a very well-known Padma awardee journalist. And she published my article. She's one of the few people who actually published my article on PHFI, because mainstream media was totally, absolutely on board with these fraudsters, Gates Foundation and the government, etc. So that's why you never saw any critical article on PHFI, any investigative article on PHFI.
And
so,
if I don't forget this, in our call you had mentioned that like 2 specific newspapers were really pushing the PHFI. So can you
very importantly, and let me tell you what those is. One is the Hindu, which is supposed to be a leftist paper, and other was the Indian Express. Now, if you look at the coverage, since I've been writing about PHFI since 2011, I did a lot of, scanning of these newspapers and whatever was published on PHFI.
They themselves are responsible for all these statements.
Went through my scrutiny.
They themselves are responsible for all these statements.
Found that the Hindu,
We are interested in PHFI. Is it because of that the union and state governments are not acting in spite of Anand Daya's?
I don't know, many people know, he was a member of the Communist Party sometimes. I don't know whether he continues to be a member of the Communist Party. He has written an article in the Sunday Guardian, and you can check that, where he says that vaccines manufactured by Serum Corporation actually cause infertility in African women in trials. So that article is there. And Serum Corporation is a huge partner with Gates Foundation in Africa.
Yeah.
So this is something we must keep in mind. And they are one project that I can mention at the moment. There may be others. Is the pneumococcal vaccine, on which they have been partnering with Gates Foundation. And Gates, has been. If you just check the Gates, Bill Gates' own channel on YouTube, you can see he has a video praising Cyrus, Poonawalla.
Yes, and I've seen his own website as well. If you see the grants page, like the Gates Foundation has given, I think, at least 2 or 3 grants to the Poonawalla and Serum Institute for developing different vaccines. So yes, that they work very closely behind the scenes.
Yeah.
This is the vaccine theory. Kindly understand.
There's an interview again of Adar Poonawalla, who is the son of.
Interesting factor on vaccines, please.
Cyrus Poonawalla. And he says that my mentor is Bill Gates, and he has been, warning me since 2015 that there's going to be pandemic, and so we have been prepared, and we made this vaccine, and now we are the billionaires. And he, benefited the most. Cyrus, his wealth has now gone up to, I think.
Let me again read.
Crore or something. So,
Yes.
For
Cyrus Poonawalla, and he said, praising Cyrus, Poonawalla.
Yes, and I've seen his own website as well. If you see the grants page, the Gates Foundation has given, I think, at least 2 or 3 grants to the Poonawalla and Serum Institute for developing different vaccines. So yes, that they work very closely behind the scenes.
Yeah. And now, there's an interview again of Adar Poonawalla, who is the son of Cyrus Poonawalla, and he says that my mentor is Bill Gates, and he has been, warning me since 2015 that there's going to be pandemic, and so we were prepared, and we made this vaccine, and now we are the billionaires. And he, benefited.
Cross-check these statements. It is on the record, please, on their websites.
1,33 crore or something. So a 25% increase in wealth in the last 4 months. And he is the largest vaccine manufacturer in the world. India is the vaccine capital of the world. India is not the victim of the vaccines mafia. India is itself a part of this mafia. India is actually vaccinating Africa.
That's true. 1 in 2 children in the world are vaccinated with Serum Institute's vaccine.
It's the largest. Absolutely. is the largest vaccine manufacturer in the world by volume, not by revenue but by volume, largest. So India is in India, and the Indians are vaccinating the world and vaccinating themselves. So when we talk about vaccines, we must keep that in mind, that it's the Indians who are collaborating with these globalist criminals like Gates Foundation and injecting poison into people. Now you can see
It can be
this
cross-checked.
whole,
It can be
you know,
scientifically
approach
validated, please.
in which they are actually manufacturing it. They themselves say, you know, it takes 10 years to, you know, develop a vaccine. It's a very regulated process and all. And now within months, within weeks, they are trying to develop something. And you know, Adar Poonawala is self-implicating himself. If you see his what he has been telling the journalists, he's saying that, you know, even though we have this tie-up with AstraZeneca for, you know, for making these COVID vaccines and Oxford University, but we're already manufactured. We have already, you know, a stock of about 1 million. So which means that they are already without human trials. Human trials are going on. They're not complete yet, but they've already a stock, and we're doing it at personal risk. So
And you know,
point
they're
is,
portraying it as if he's doing some philanthropic thing by, you know, letting
Philanthrope.
go of, yeah.
and you can see that they are the largest beneficiaries of this whole scam. So
Millions of vaccines
I'm
much
saying
before, Ramesh Reddy garu. Just keep this in your mind.
all
Much
these
before
elections,
trials.
PHFI must be recognized as the so-called executive committee of India's billionaires, sitting right inside the government of India, deciding the public policy and the public health administration, and that explains the completely compliant, completely supine and response of the government of India and the state governments to this whole coup d'etat that has taken place in the last 4 months, where democracy has been destroyed, where Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister, is working as a henchman of the Gates Foundation, of the Bill Gates and all. So this whole devastation that has taken place in India in the last 4 months is a culmination of what has been happening for the last 14 months of, you know, allowing the Gates Foundation to set up a whole infrastructure of global health imperialism inside the government of India, implanted into government of India across states. So many states are now were actually on board right from the beginning. Their chief minister on board. You know, I talked about Narendra Modi, who was a Gujarat chief minister, who was on board, and that's why, you know, it's ridiculous. And then I talked about the media, which is, you know, I talked about the Hindu, which is a leftist paper, more aligned with the communist parties of India, socialist parties of India, and you have the liberal paper, the Indian Express. So that's what I call the elite consensus. I have used this word in one of my articles in 2018. I've said that this is an elite consensus, which actually brought about this global health imperialism to India, which means all parties are on board. Congress is there, BJP is there, Biju Janata Dal was there, Naveen Patnaik was on board right from the beginning. He gave land in Bhubaneswar and PHFI was set up. And now you see this Kesrinath Reddy is a health advisor to him for many years now. And they are wreaking havoc with public health policy in Odisha. And that explains also why Naveen Patnaik actually went for continuation of the lockdown after the first round, because there were no cases in Odisha. You know, in the first round, even at the end of the first round, there were hardly any cases in Odisha. And Naveen Patnaik, the chief minister, actually asked for the extension of the lockdown. Why? Because Kesrinath Reddy is the advisor to Naveen Patnaik, the chief minister, for many years now. So, and then you have PHFI also has a school, public health school in Hyderabad, which was earlier United Andhra Pradesh, and the chief minister was YSR Reddy. YSR Reddy was on board, by the way. He was the Congress chief minister, and he was on board, and he gave land in Hyderabad to PHFI. Then Sheila Dikshit in Delhi was on board. She gave land, but then land, went into dispute. So they have now set up in Gurgaon, which is a satellite city of Delhi. So all across in Bangalore, I think they were given land as late as I think about 3 or 4 years ago. And Manmohan Singh continued to help them. This is what I learned through my sources, that Manmohan Singh they got land in Bangalore. Now, importantly also, during this COVID crisis in the last 4 months, who are the people who are raising alarm, who are adding alarm and being alarmist in all the media coverage that you see.
Kapil, so
There are also
just a
people-
minute, before we go into the detail of how these people are controlling the current crisis right now, I just want to highlight the implications of what you said till now, because what we are saying to the viewers is basically that the globalists who even have studied and the names you brought up which have been involved in the PHFI, till now I didn't know that Cyrus Poonawalla is on the board as well, but you mentioned the Mahindras, they are basically the Mahindras.
Cyrus Poonawalla, I'm sorry. Cyrus Poonawalla is not on board on PH5, but he was actually given an award by Bill Gates a few months ago, late 2019 at ICMR. So ICMR, as I told you, has a deep connection now with PHFI as well as Gates Foundation, as well as CDC also. I think they signed some kind of agreement also with CDC. Not with CDC, I think with CDC they have
All facts on
but
the
also
screen.
with
You can cross check.
Anthony
Is this
Fauci's
the
body,
reason
which
why
is,
Anandaya's medicine
NIH and
is
WHO
not being
Anthony
honored?
Fauci's body, which is called some NIE.
National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. Yeah.
Yeah. So they also had an agreement. So Poonawalla was given an award by Bill Gates at an ICMR function. ICMR's award. It was an ICMR award. So what I was saying is, even if, for example, Azim Premji is one billionaire that I just want to touch upon. He may not be directly involved, but he was also involved in actually giving some private investment to the Manipal, and Manipal also has funding from Narayan Murthy. Narayan Murthy has a connection with PHFI. So indirect connection with either Bill Gates or with PHFI. But most of the billionaires are actually represented on the PHFI board. And Poonawalla and Azim Premji may not be there, but they're indirectly involved. So that is what I was saying.
All right, thanks for that clarification. But all the members that we mentioned who are connected or indirectly connected, I can say that the Godrej is connected to the globalists because they basically go to trilateral commission meetings, which was another spin-off of the Roundtable Secret Society. Then you brought up Nandan Nilekani's wife, Rohini Nilekani, sitting on the board. Nandan's been involved since the beginning in pushing the Aadhaar project on behalf of the globalists. And then Nandan basically is part of Bill Gates' Giving Pledge as well, which is this billionaire thing that they have signed up to make the billionaires give their wealth away to push the globalist agenda worldwide. Aziz Premji is on that as well. Then, this Biocon chair, Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw is sitting on that. So once we start to go into these connections, I'll be doing a lot more work on this, in detail exposing how these people connect with the globalists. But we can see that all
The same Kiran Mazumdar who has interviewed Sadhguruji, on which we have done whether spike protein mutates or not. She said doesn't mutate. We have proved it with facts on record that it mutates. So one vaccine will not be helpful. By likes of Sadhguruji was made to interpret wrongly. Once you take vaccine at sit home, what if you develop moderate and critical symptoms? That was the live show. Still we have been writing mails. There is no response from Sadhguruji. So here is the fact again.
all the frontmen for the globalists who are basically involved in pushing the globalist agenda in different ways are very well represented on the PHFI board. So, what we're saying is literally that the global deep
This
state
is all
has
vaccination
done,
promotion.
At least the health policy and many other things.
Let
as
them
well.
promote
So
Anandaya's
the
medicine,
PHFI
Corona
so
medicine
before we
too,
go into
in the same way.
implications of how these people are currently driving the crisis right now. One last thing I want to touch on is that you openly accuse the PHFI for fraud, and I just want you to go into that incident and how they dealt with you in response.
Okay, so in 2012, I think.
My submission to the people of India at large and to union and state governments, what PHFI has been doing with so many millionaires and billionaires, fine. You have been promoting vaccination, very clearly done. Poonawalla was on record and there are many other videos. 1 million doses already without human trials, without lockdown, before itself. That has to be investigated. When such is the case, why is union and state governments are silent with our own indigenous Anandaya Ayurveda Corona medicine? That is $1 million question. This is why we are trying to play this. Is this the fact? All the parties are on board. Why are they not trying to have a clause? Yes, take consent of the people. We don't mind. There are many people who doesn't want to be vaccinated. Why don't you try this Anandaya's Corona medicine? Because I would have loved to show Another MLA is putting sticker of himself and Chief Minister Anandaya's photo is not at all there, and he is advising doses morning and night. See how they are playing with Anandaya's medicine in part of Rayalaseema. Why not union and state governments come to the rescue of people? And this would have been a global phenomena. One word from you, Ramesh Reddy, before I continue with this video. Don't you think all these things are looking very, very murkier? Ramesh Reddy garu, don't you think this looks much murkier? These are all facts out.
Yes, there is lot of work done, and this has been my past. Even Dr. Srikanth Reddy is, I know him. He's a 2 years senior to me in our school. He's a nice person, but somehow he has landed in
Nothing in person against anyone. This show is very clear. Nothing in person against anyone. No enmity. We are trying to speak about the policy matters. Let me play this again because I just.
larger interest of mankind is most important.
That's what. No individual perspectives.
After,
Yep.
as I told you, they were not complying with the RTI Act until 2011, when they were hauled up in the Central Information Commission, and then Central Information Commission passed an order in 2011. That order should be, everybody should see that order also, because that order itself is a very severe indictment of PHFI and the way the government set up PHFI as a absolutely fraudulent.
Facts
body.
on record.
And because that order is also important, because it's my kind of findings which I actually submitted to the Information Commissioner Shailesh Gandhi, which also formed an important part of that particular decision of the CIC. So after they were compelled by the CIC to comply with RTI, and this compliance hasn't been like any other, the compliance of any other body. They are doing it only, as a very deceitful activity, because they have always, they've never given any information about their board meetings, etc. until now. So in 2012, I filed this RTI, a number of RTI, in 4 RTIs I filed, because I was doing a decisive piece on investigative piece on PHFI, which I left off doing in September, October 2012, because I was fed up with this whole thing. Nobody was paying attention, and I left off. And then that piece I published later on in 2014. Okay, it is on my blog site. So I asked them about their board the composition of their board in 2006, and they sent me an absolutely forged document. Now, they could have simply given me the names of all the people who were sitting on the board in 2006 on a plain paper. I mean, they could have just sent me, these are the names which were there on the board. But he actually forged a document. He actually sent me a photocopy of a document, of an original document, supposedly, putatively or ostensibly original document, signed by, by himself, who he was the president of PHFI. So he signed in August 2006. So he signed it as if he signed this document in 2006. He sent me a list of the people who were sitting on the PHFI board in 2006, and he signed the document, which means it was actually a document that came out of the PHFI board meeting itself. And it has all the names of Rajat Gupta, the chairman, and all the health secretary and other people who actually were sitting. Amartya Sen was on the board. A.K. Shivakumar, a person close to Sonia Gandhi, who was on PHFI board.
And Amartya Sen directly has connections to the Rothschild family. I mean, it doesn't get more blatant.
Also with Rockefeller. With Lincoln Chen. Lincoln Chen is also one guy who has been represented right from the beginning on the PHFI board. He's still there. And he is the chairman of the China Medical Board. So what is the connection between India and China now that we are talking about the war between all the tensions between India and China? So the Rockefeller Foundation is one connection between India and China. So Lincoln Chen sits on the board of the China Medical Board. He is one of the Rockefeller Foundation persons, and he's also sitting on the board of the PHFI right from the beginning. So Lincoln Chen also set up some body. If you go to their, the China Medical Board website, you will see that Lincoln Chen also has a connection with Amartya Singh, by the way. So all this is an incestuous body. All these guys are connected with each other. Wellcome Trust, Gates Foundation, Rockefeller Foundation, all these are, connected with each other. So, K. Srinath Reddy sent me this document under RTI, signed document, signed back in August 2006, of all the people who were sitting on the PHFI board. And I found that, it took me hardly 5 minutes to see that it was a forged document because, in August 2006, Rajat Gupta was, described as, consultant to PHFI or something, which he became later after he actually ceased to be the managing partner or the managing director of PHFI. So even though he became that later, so in August 2006, he must have been the managing partner or whatever his position was in McKinsey. But he was described as something that he became later. I was told so fed up in I think September, October that I left Information Commission. If you file a complaint or a appeal, the second appeal at the Information Commission, it would have taken perhaps a year for them to actually listen to to hear your appeal. So I left off. I also had planned to file a FIR again. So again, that plan did not actually go through of filing an FIR. So he gave me an absolutely forged document. This document can be seen. Anybody who is interested in looking at this document can go to the ManyLife website, and my article is still there. You can see that article along with this document. It is actually uploaded along with that article. So that document can be seen. It is a photocopy of the composition of the PHFI board prevailing in 2006. So you can see that. It's a forged document. That's one. Second, obviously, the fraud that they committed in 2013 when Narayan Murthy was the chairman. He became the chair. He became the second chairman of PHFI after the exit of the Rajat Gupta. Rajat Gupta's exit in March 2011 also had something to do with my article because I published in March, and after that, some public health activists belonging to the Medico Friend Circle actually, tapped the government. They made some noises about, how come this guy who is going to be arrested now by the FBI is actually chairing this body called PHFI, where all the top government guys, Montek Singh Ahluwalia, the deputy chair of the Planning Commission, the TK Nair, who was the secretary to the Manmohan Singh, Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, Health Secretary, etc. They were all sitting on the board of PHFI under the chairmanship of Rajat Gupta. So how is it that possible that this guy is going to be arrested for securities fraud? And he was arrested. He was arrested, he was convicted, he was jailed for 19 months. He went to jail for 19
Actually,
months.
Gates and others, made public statements for them to reduce his time in jail, saying that he's doing so much fantastic work abroad.
Yeah. Also, Ashok Alexander. Ashok Alexander was a representative of the Gates Foundation in India. He was also, I think, heading the Gates Foundation in India, and he was also one of the persons who actually set up the PHFI, Ashok Alexander. And so Ashok Alexander was there. And McKinsey, must remember that McKinsey has been the henchman of the Gates Foundation for globally, not just in India, across the world. And their rise, the Gates Foundation rise to the global health is, is actually goes hand in hand with the rise of the McKinsey Foundation. So McKinsey Foundation is one of the most important, global consulting firms hired by Bill Gates to actually, advance his global health agenda.
And they are hired by the pharmaceutical industry as well. The pharmaceutical industry and McKinsey have done a lot of work together to basically promote.
Absolutely. All the pharmaceutical firms, Merck and Abbott and all those firms. Merck obviously was involved in this HPV scandal in which 7 children died in India, which was, the clinical trials or whatever, where Gates Foundation actually funded that vaccination drive. So Merck was involved in that. So all these pharmaceutical firms are also allied with McKinsey. And McKinsey is obviously pushing this public-private partnership across the board, not just in healthcare and elsewhere. So public-private partnership is something which we must. Public-private partnership is one very important area of interest that I had, which actually, of which PHFI investigation is just one part. I also did other articles on public-private partnership in other sectors, like in Delhi Mumbai Industrial Corridor, road sector, etc. So public-private partnership again is an agenda pushed also by the United Nations agency, United Nations system, because United Nations has been completely honeycombed by these globalist criminals like Gates Foundation, Clinton Foundation, Rockefeller Foundation, etc., George Soros Foundation. So United Nations itself has been, pushing this whole policy of public-private partnership, which have been a huge scam in India, by the way. This whole scam has been blown up in our faces in terms of this ILNFS. ILNFS is a huge scam in India. So many scams are there in PPPs. We must remember that. In roads, in ports, in airports, recently GVK has been arrested. The GVK has been booked only, the day before yesterday. The GVK guy who actually developed the Mumbai Airport, International Airport. So PPP is full of scams, by the way. Even in physical infrastructure, where the government of India has some kind of policy, no legislation, but policy. Because, you must remember PPP policy never went through the scrutiny of the parliament or the CAG, proper scrutiny of the parliament. Because you never came up with a legislation. The government of India should have come up with a legislation on PPP. Yes, because, you are restructuring the government. PPP is like, a policy, a global policy of implanting deep states across countries, in all governments, and pushed by the United Nations, and directly by the United Nations.
Yes,
and
definitely. That's been my conclusion after the research as well. And like summing up what you're saying is basically the culmination of you like alleging the PHFI of fraud was they basically filed a lawsuit against you, like a defamation suit. So can you speak a little bit about that as well?
Yeah. So in 2018, late 2017, I was contacted by a person who had worked for PHFI for about 5 years. He was vice president research and policy, and I can just reveal his name. His name is Ramanan Lakshmanan, Ramanan Lakshmi Narayan, and Ramanan Lakshmi Narayan was associated with PHFI, and he contacted me. He had left PHFI some time ago, and he contacted me in late 2017, and he said that I have some material on PHFI. This FD scam that took place, where most of the funds, corpus fund was wiped off, and there was no accountability was fixed by Reddy and by Narayan Murthy. Narayan Murthy was a second-time chairman then in 2018. So Narayan Murthy, you must remember, Narayan Murthy has been deeply involved in PHFI. He was making private equity investments also in healthcare in Manipal. Manipal was actually also involved in bioweapons research, as we later found out. Azim Premji was also one of the investors in Manipal Health. So these private equity investments themselves were very dubious by Azim Premji and by Narayan Murthy. So Narayan Murthy has been the chairman of PHFI twice. Once in 2011 when he became the chairman, and again he became the chairman after the exit of the Mahindra in 2015, I think. So in 2018, so he told me, this guy who contacted me, the vice president, Ramanan Lakshmi Narayan, that this scam has taken place where most of the funds have been wiped out. They actually put some money in some FDs, fixed deposits in some public sector banks in Mumbai, even though they are based in Delhi, and through agents, and those agents actually wiped off, siphoned off the money, and I think about 100 crore or something. And now they don't have any money to set up these public health schools, even though some of the public health schools are already functioning for many years now, but they were, I think, probably running on rented premises. So he said now they don't have the money to build upon those plots of land that they own across the states.
Wow.
So I didn't do the article immediately, but I did this article then later on in February 2018. And I did this article. Also, by that time, I was contacted by another guy from Kerala who actually said that, PHFI has designs on his institute. He was working for that institute, medical institute. And he said that PHFI has pulled off this absolutely illegal kind of arrangement with that medical institute, some kind of tie-up, uh, and this is done totally unlawfully. So I did this article covering both these issues. One is this fraud which took place in 2013, I think, in the financial year 2013, when Narayan Murthy was the chairman. He was having his first stint as a PHFI chairman. And another was this illegal kind of tie-up between PHFI and this medical institute in Kerala. So that article is published in 2018, and after that article, actually again nobody picked up, and nobody in the mainstream media picked up any of my pieces on PHFI right from 2011 until now. So for 14 years, I have been a voice in the wilderness, completely alone, isolated, and nobody has written anything about PHFI. So in 2018, this article was published, and I actually sent it through my mailers to people and people I knew, and I actually opened a Twitter account in order to have some kind of mileage for this article so that people read about it. And then I received in the middle of about 2-3 months after the publication of that article, I received this defamation from Khaitan and Company. I received this legal notice of defamation, that you have been defaming against PHFI right from 2011, and now remove all your articles and everything, or pay us 2.5 crores of money, as damages. So this article, this Khaitan and Company works directly for Narayan Murthy. Narayan Murthy was a chairman then. So I have reason to believe, obviously, it's Narayan Murthy himself who sent this defamation notice through Khaitan and Company. And I was obviously very kind of scared at that moment that am I going to be targeted or not? But also surprised that they are actually targeting a blogger who nobody knows. Who knows about me? Nobody. I mean, I'm almost an anonymous blogger. So because I have not been working for mainstream media for many years, so they are sending a defamation notice to a blogger, and for the last 9 years, I think my views on my blog site won't be more than a little more than 2 lakh or something. So I am not a mass media. I'm not somebody who is read by a lot of people, and yet they did it. So that is the kind of pain they must have felt by my articles, which means they hit the right spot. That's what I believe, because I am the only one who actually exposed the design of the Gates Foundation, and perhaps also because what was coming, what was in store for them, what was they were preparing for in 2018. Maybe they were already preparing for this pandemic thing and the Great Reset thing and all the fraud that was coming in 2020. Maybe they were preparing and they were rattled by that. So this was sent, and then I took help from some lawyer to send a response to that. And I said that obviously I'm not taking down any of my articles, and I did an article in 2011 with the directly in which Narayan Murthy directly participated. The second article that I did for Money Life Foundation, my second article published in Money Life Foundation 2011, that was done with the participation of both Narayan Murthy, who had just taken over as the chairman of PHFI, and also the PHFI itself, which means Reddy himself. So they took part in my article, which means they responded to my question. I included those questions in my article. So I said, how come my articles, you were taking part in my article, and now they suddenly became defamatory? So I am writing the truth, and obviously I am not going to take down my articles. And then that lawsuit did not go through. They did not actually file a lawsuit. So that remained a threat. And that is something that I received. So there are two important things. One was obviously the forgery that took place, and other the fraud, which actually took place under the chairmanship of Narayan Murthy and under the presidentship of Reddy in 2013. So funds were stolen in the financial year 2013-14. Nothing happened. Now, why is it that no government action? Now, if the government people who are supposed to be sitting on the PHFI board, health secretary is sitting there, and they took no action. Narayan Murthy remained the chairman. He became the chairman again in 2015. And Reddy has remained the president right from 2006. So now you can again see the kind of power, the kind of clout they enjoy over government of India. No minister has the power, no prime minister has the power to take action against PHFI. In 2017, again, they were caught up, government took away their FCRA license, and again, nothing happened. It just the drama went on for a few months, a few weeks, and then their FCRA was actually restored. Nothing happened. So government took no action. It was all a drama which was happening in 2017. And they must have received huge amount of.
So for this FCRA, they said they have cornered all the companies, they have cancelled. Then how is that this thing has been revoked? $1 million question. That is what baffles. Is that the reason why India's indigenous Anandaya Ayurveda medicine is being stopped from reaching people of India as well as the globe?
Funding, somebody told me, somebody who is in the public health domain, he said that a day or two after their FCRA license was restored, they received huge amount of funding from abroad, huge amount of funding. So I have a feeling they were already preparing in 2018. In 2018 they were already preparing some kind of huge seismic event in India, which we now see, unfolding and experiencing very painfully.
Throughout the decade, India's concerns about the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and its corporate partners' influence on the country's national immunization programs grew. In 2016, the steering group of the country's National Health Mission blasted the government for allowing the country's National Technical Advisory Group on Immunization, the primary body advising the government on all vaccination-related matters, to be effectively purchased by the Gates Foundation. As one steering group member noted, the NTAGI Secretariat has been moved out of the government's health ministry to the Office of Public Health Foundation of India, and the 32 staff members in that secretariat draw their salaries from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. There is a clear conflict of interest. On one hand, the BMGF funds the secretariat that is the highest decision-making body in vaccines, and, on the other, it partners with the pharma industry in Gavi. This is unacceptable.
So, I mean, like now coming to a kind of end to this.
Ramesh Reddy garu, you have seen the facts. It is mind blowing. What do you like to would you like to comment now? It's really so much of information for you.
See, these people have clearly brought out lot of information with evidences and have been saying, while my firm belief right from the beginning is that Bill Gates Foundation is unnecessarily creating problems for the world and for the people. We all know that, but these people have given a wonderful evidence. And Dr. Srikanth Reddy himself is a very nice man, but how he landed up in this all scams, I don't know. It's a big medical, I must say, it is a, what we call it as, medical, what we say, I'm not able to correct that word.
But don't you think they have been evidencing every part of it, every document here? FCRI it's revoked on public health.
To everyone, because it is all a scam and it is a medical conspiracy, and internationally by the USA and US rich people, and then they have cleverly involved our people, making us innocent victims. Indians will be the innocent victims in this all, and involve finances of the Indian billionaires and millionaires also in the process. So, in a way, we are killing ourselves with our own people by our own funds. This is the biggest problem. It has to be arrested, and we may have to inform to the entire population in this country that don't go by these virus, these vaccines, bank on Indian medicine, bank on Ayurvedic medicine, which are more effective, which will uproot the problem, and banking on these allopathy, they'll be robbed of everything till they are dead. So
Yeah.
they should be very,
I'll
very
just
careful.
play the remaining
And
part.
governments also,
I'll-
they don't know what they are doing,
Yep.
why they are doing,
Yep.
but they are told to do. They are given procedures.
Right.
According to the procedures, they will conduct the experiments or medication dosages. All
Right, right.
They
I'll-
believe in what they have been directed
Right,
by
I'll just-
pharmaceutical company or the Public Health Council of India. So, Public Health Council, although they are opening number of hospitals in the rural areas, but the real background we are not able to. Probably they wanted to get rid of by sending these medical sciences to the interiors of this country. They wanted to destroy Ayurvedic practices, which our people have to be very alert. Otherwise, we all will be in great trouble. And another 4-5 years up to 2025, we have to be very watchful. Our governments are sold by themselves. None of the government's chief ministers or politicians, they are making money on the misery, on the dead bodies of India's population. So we have to be very, very careful. This is an eye-opener for every one of us. I am sure the people of India will understand all these things, and they will prevail upon the government to ensure that they follow only make in India, made in India, ancient Indian traditional medicines, which will be very effective. They are 100% proof. British have created a lot of problems for this country. They left, but their legacy is continuing even to this day. This legacy has to be broken. Bring back our traditional, effective, wonderful medicine, which
Right.
have been the savior of this country, and that is what we have to conduct.
Just I'll
And
play.
just
I'll play just 2 minutes. Last winding up things. Then you can comment on this also. Some interesting facts are also there.
Let's analyze how the PHFI has been instrumental in coordinating and directing the response to this so-called pandemic that has, basically destroyed all our freedoms right now.
Okay, I was talking about Ramanan Lakshminarayan, who actually contacted me, whom I described in that article as a whistleblower, obviously, because he gave me the tips about that scandal, FD scandal that took place in PHFI, where the money was stolen under the chairmanship of Narayan Murthy, the great, advocate of corporate governance, and this guy Reddy, the president of PHFI. So, Ramanan Lakshminarayan was in the news in March, I think, or early April, when he gave this alarmist, interviews to the Indian media that, so many millions of people are going to be affected by coronavirus, and so many billions are going to perhaps a huge amount of fatalities that we will see in the next few weeks. Now, Ramanan, then I remembered, was associated obviously with PHFI. He was the one who gave me that information, and so that is one thing. And he's also associated with the University of Washington. University of Washington is the home to IHMI, which is the Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluation, again a body set up by the Gates Foundation, which gave the fraudulent models on which these genocidal lockdowns were based. So IHMI again has a revolving door with the WHO, because IHMI's founding board members are Reddy. One is Reddy and other is this Tedros of the WHO. So IHME's founding board members are Reddy of PHFI and Tedros of WHO. It was set up in 2007, by the way. So now Ramanan Lakshminarayan gave this alarmist mathematics.
I think I have to rewind this. Reddy garu. Last year also we said,
okay.
last year also WHO's Mr. Dr. Tedros
The biggest country.
Ghebreyesus, he in 2018 speaking in Middle East, he predicted a big pandemic. Now here is what he is. How can he involve himself this board? IHME funded by Bill Gates, who is into manufacturing of vaccinations and so on and so forth. And Mr. Chris Srinath Reddy. So they say, I think this is a big exposure. How do you look at this?
Yes. Definitely, But probably, unfortunately, in their scheme of evil intentions, Anandaya is a intervention probably that will tilt the whole balance of world's medical scenario with regard to this virus. And one thing, all these vaccines, they are specific to one virus. But Ananda's medicine, any type of virus, it will take care. So there are number of medicinal plants which he is using, which in fact for different types of viruses.
No,
they can
that is okay.
withstand.
Ready, Garu. Now on the screen, IHME's founding board members, you find Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, none other than the WHO, World Health Organization. How do you look at this now?
The international conspiracy against humanity. They should be punished. They should put behind the bars. But
in-
unfortunately, they are dictating the world.
April 2020 also we found from the WHO own website of Ghebreyesus stating that in Middle East, speaking in Middle East in some seminar, he is expecting another pandemic in 2 years. Is this what?
Yes, sir.
How does it now?
Yes.
IHME's founding members funded by Bill Gates and he is there. This is all in the interview with Kapil Bajaj, which the
Because he is
channel
there,
has done.
He knows, because he is there, he knows what is the future.
Right. Because that's why I just wanted to replay these documents. People can really cross-check, verify, and come up, and this channel is alive to all those names who have been taken. You are most welcome to come onto the channel and speak on your behalf too. Because these are all public documents. They have been there in the public domain. After they have been there in the public domain, solicited by people, we are telecasting it live. Am I right, Dr. Reddy Garu?
Yes. Yes.
It's a public document which is there in the public domain. That is what they have been sending to us. And today is an app. That is that the reason why Anandaya's Ayurveda medicine is not being honored in spite of proving efficacious? That is the $1 billion question for the take.
Because of these people,
Yeah.
they are all party to it. All politicians are party to it.
Yeah.
And all sorts of chief ministers are party to it, including Prime Minister is a party to all this. Because in the Prime Minister himself once told, ma'am, in Hindi, addressing the people, he told, मैं व्यापारी हूँ, मेरे खून में कामर दौड़ता है. That sort of a व्यापारी blood, a person with a व्यापारी blood, he will never let loose the opportunity that comes in their way. So therefore, he is whether personally.
Another interesting thing is when he is saying free vaccination, fine. Why not free Anandaya Ayurveda medicine? You preach about Hindutva in India, ancient India.
That is the one. If Bill Gates is really interested in the public health, he should first encourage Ananda as medicine so
Yep.
that people in the world will be happy, healthy.
I
and,
hope Bill Gates is
happy
listening.
there.
Bill Gates is alone now. I hope he is listening to this live show. Start
And
disbursing
even-
Anandaya's Ayurveda medicine to the world. You will be at least free of all this. We are not here to judge or dictate. We are not an investigating agency. We are a channel trying to put forward the facts which have been there in the public domain. Reassuring. Yeah, Dr. Reddy. I think let me play this again.
The nature has a wonderful way of tackling such people.
Right.
It has thrown Dr. Anandaya into the forefront to
Yes.
destroy the evil intentions of these all conglomerated evil thinkers and leaders. or
A
billionaires.
man heading WHO, World Health Organization, how can he be in IHME as the founding board members, whether that will allow? And these people are very clear, they are into vaccination programs. They are into vaccination programs. It is very, very clear. Yeah, I'll just play this. We'll just wind up.
Instead of saying we must say immoral health.
Okay.
I should be termed as immoral health.
Yeah, last year we demanded United Nations to come to the rescue of member countries when WHO has failed and order an inquiry in a transparent and accountable way.
So now Ramanan Lakshmi Narayan gave this alarmist mathematical model, which was given huge amount of coverage by the India Today television, by other channels in India. So again, you can clearly see that people associated with PHFI were helping this whole Gates agenda in India, the evil agenda of Gates in India. Initially they needed this momentum that they needed to build up to, justify the Prime Minister decision to impose a lockdown in India without any rhyme or reason, because there were hardly any cases. Even now, if you say India, 16,000 people have died or 17,000 people have died in 5 months, it's hardly anything. Every day death rate in India is 26,670. That's a figure that people must remember. I found this figure. Nobody is actually asking for this figure. How many people actually die in India? Because we have death rate. So there must be some daily death rate also. 26,670 people die in India normally in India every day. Now, this coronavirus has, even though that figure itself is dubious, about 17,000 people in 5 months, nothing.
Sir, now I think this has an important aspect. How many people die in India every day? Ramesh Reddy garu, I think let me play this once again. Let people understand. Normally, how many people die in India every day? Let us.
Again, you can clearly see that people associated with PHFI were helping this whole Gates agenda in India, the evil agenda of Gates in India. Initially they needed this momentum that they needed to build up to, justify the Prime Minister decision to impose a lockdown in India without any rhyme or reason, because there were hardly any cases. Even now, if you say India, 16,000 people have died or 17,000 people have died in 5 months, it's hardly anything. Every day death rate in India is 26,670. That's a figure that people must remember. I found this figure. Nobody is actually asking for this figure. How many people actually die in India? Because we have death rate. So there must be some daily death rate also. 26,670 people die in India normally in India every day. Now, this coronavirus has killed officially.
This was in 2020. Chalo, take your waves, second waves, 3,000, 4,000, but 26,600 people, 70 people normally die in India. Why is that only Corona is being made a devil for the cause of death? When so many people die in a day normally, 26,670, let the union and state governments, ICMR, or all those concerned Indian Medical Association bodies dispute this. We are ready to host the show. Your take on this, Ramesh Reddy garu.
Yes, sir. Just as rightly pointed out, the number of deaths roughly are about 27,000 per day every year, every day in all these previous years. How come Corona, is it a savior of the people or what? It is, in fact, deaths will be much more than 26,000, 27,000, maybe around 35,000 or so. Another 20,000, 46,000 roughly we can add. That is the order, but government is suppressing from every state. Information is wrongly projected and less number of deaths are being reported. But whereas the crematoriums are showing more number of people in the waiting to be cremated, and all this, something is wrong with the entire government machinery as well as the international organizations. I don't know what is their intrinsic advantage. Probably they wanted to make more money. Already billionaires, they are multi-billionaires. So why they require more money, I don't know. Maybe there is a global specific interest of
Right.
destroying huge population
Right.
by all means. And China is doing a favor for all these people by introducing varieties of corona.
Okay.
More number of coronas always in the way.
Right.
And only today we received an information that corona has been born, is created in the Wuhan lab, and one of the partners of that lab, he also said the same thing. He
Yeah,
said
will
his
that
team-
I'll come to you. The last stage, I'll make you to speak. How can they forecast like whether this strain is going to be more powerful? This will be a killer strain. That I'll come back to you. Is it a medical science or they are going to be Brahma Rishis? Well, I'll just play this. I'll just
Even though that figure itself is dubious, about 17,000 people in 5 months, nothing. It's not a pandemic, it's not an epidemic, nothing. So no lockdowns are necessary. But initially, in March, when you needed to actually give some kind of justification for these genocidal lockdowns, I call them genocidal because they left no stone unturned in actually killing the informal economy, the people, daily wage workers, and everybody, and the kind of scenes we saw, you know. So Raman Lakshmi Narayan gave this alarmist mathematical model that these many people are going to be killed. He was associated with PHFI. That is something that I must underline. Then you see all the statements that are coming from people associated with PHFI, including Reddy, as well as other people like Giridhar. There's one guy, epidemiologist, their chief epidemiologist of PHFI, called Giridhar. He's also known to me because I wrote about him in 2012. He was defending when I actually found that he was engaged in forgery. Reddy was engaged in forgery. He was the one. Giridhar was the one who actually defended him in the public health community. So he was also a known figure to me. And again, I saw some statements made by this Giridhar of PHFI, where he's saying that there's going to be a second wave. So they're already now talking about the second wave. Again, all the people associated with Gates across the world are talking about the second wave. And Gates
Because this
himself
was
is
in
talking about
2020.
second wave.
The interview was in 2020.
So second wave is
How
coming.
relevant it is today?
So again, all the alarmist elements that have been
Now they are talking about third wave.
into the public discourse, all those peoples who did that are traced to the Gates Foundation, to the Bill Gates. So that is one thing. Second is the government of India's response itself. The committee that they have set up under ICMR has been completely honeycombed by Gates Foundation, as I told you earlier, because ICMR was the one which investigated this, HPV vaccine scandal in Andhra Pradesh and Gujarat, and they did nothing. Finally, what
I want people to listen to this. What ICMR, why ICMR is not acting. Kindly listen to this carefully.
happened to the report that they gave to the government? Gates Foundation was not indicted by the government. I mean, they were not taken to the court. They were not prosecuted. And now the government of India is not only listening to the Gates Foundation, it seems all through these 4 months, the Prime Minister himself is taking directly, taking orders from Bill Gates. So many, there has been so many reports where we saw the Bill Gates directly talking to the Prime Minister on a hotline, appreciating his, work, giving him award. He also gave him some award, I think some months ago, or perhaps in 2019. So, Prime Minister also took part in CEPI, which is this coalition of epidemic preparedness initiative or something that they formed.
Before we go to CEPI, I just like to point out the thing you mentioned about ICMR. The parliamentary committee that was set up to investigate the whole HPV vaccine scandal, they literally accused the ICMR of colluding with PATH in order to put the HPV vaccine on the Indian schedule. Like they were doing that trial to basically generate some kind of evidence so that vaccine would get introduced in the Indian schedule. So the parliamentary committee actually accused ICMR of colluding with the NGO. Most people don't know that.
That's why I'm saying ICMR is now virtually a Gates-controlled body. ICMR is absolutely a Gates-controlled body. I'm telling you. And in November of last year, Gates was actually giving awards in a ICMR function to Cyrus Poonawalla. Lifetime Achievement Award to Cyrus Poonawalla, as well as to that Mazumdar lady.
Yeah.
That Kiran Mazumdar Shah, 2 people. And so ICMR, he was on the ICMR kind of platform and giving awards. And ICMR should have no business dealing with the Gates Foundation, which was involved in this whole HPV scandal. So ICMR is now virtually a Gates controlled body actually. Again, ICMR actually also has this, in that function itself, you see the news report. They also signed some declaration of intent agreement with Gates Foundation as well as NIH, the Anthony Fauci's body, that Anthony Fauci's body of infectious diseases, which means, and then ICMR has a very long-term relationship with CDC also, the US CDC. So CDC again was involved in this, bioweapons research inside this Manipal University, in which you have the funding from the Narayan Murthy as well as Azim Premji. So you clearly see the links, and ICMR again now has this body which is the apex body of the government of India dealing with this pandemic. And inside that body, you have the Reddy of PHFI sitting inside. So PHFI again has been given that pride of place inside the government of India's response.
And just
As
to
well as
highlight
against
the connections between all this, I don't know if you've seen this article or not, but I think there's an article in India Today called "Much Ado Over Vaccines." So basically, this article was like trying to cover up for all the basically controversy and scandal that the Gates Foundation has generated, like since the HPV trial in India. And literally, if you see that article, they have handpicked like all the people that we are mentioning right now to basically like cover for what the Gates Foundation has done. So if you see that article, Soumya Swaminathan is basically like approached for a court. You have K. Vijay Raghavan who's approached for a court, and you have Srinath Reddy as well who was approached. So literally, like all these people are taken in their articles, like they've used all their ammo to silence the controversies and criticism that took place around the PHFI influencing India's immunization policy. And it's surprising for me because you were talking about CEPI. So the Department of Biotechnology in India was actually like one of the founding partners in CEPI, which is something Gates created in order to prepare for an epidemic to come in advance. And like around 350 crores of our taxpayer money was infused into that whole thing. So if you see the Indian scientists who basically got exported to CEPI, you find the same names. You find Soumya Swaminathan, you find K. Vijay Raghavan. It's literally like a revolving door where they are going from place to place and controlling the entire health policy from what I've seen.
Yeah, so Soumya Swaminathan was the Director General of ICMR when she facilitated this tie-up, three-way tie-up between ICMR, PHFI and IHME. IHME again was involved in their fraudulent models, epidemiological models, which have been disastrous, and again a Gates-funded body. And then, Soumya Swaminathan was asked very recently by NDTV journalist Ravish Kumar that about lockdowns, because now she's in WHO. I think last year or something she joined WHO as a chief scientist of WHO. So she was asked about whether WHO had some role to play in recommending these very draconian lockdowns. So she said no, WHO has nothing to do with a straight face. But she failed to mention that there's a revolving door between WHO and IHME itself and also ICMR. So she should have said that, I facilitated a tie-up between ICMR and IHME. IHME has this guy, Tedros, who is now the Director General of WHO, and I was in ICMR, which is controlling the Government of India response to this whole COVID thing, pandemic, and I am now sitting inside WHO. So she didn't say that, but she knew, and she knows.
Is this not a big exposure, sir? Why Anandaya's Ayurveda medicine is not being honored by Indian Council of Medical Research? They have migrated to WHO, and WHO, Dr. Tedros, the Secretary General, is part of IHME funded by Gates. Is this for the specific region, the Indian indigenous Ayurvedic medicine, which we thought at least this NDA government will propagate, is silent? Your one word, Ramesh Reddy garu. I think this is a big exposure. See how they are been interlinking the same set of people from here to there to there, and again back to here. And they are planning and controlling the health system, not only India's, the world's health system, funded by Bill Gates and all, blah, blah, blah. One word from you.
100%. But unfortunately, our Prime Minister, who claims to be a true Indian, and he wanted to bring entire thing of the ancient past medicine traditions, knowledge onto the forefront and take India to a glorious future. But even if he is silent, and he himself is a convenient partner to all these international lobbying, maybe he is carried away by his prestige image that has been falsely created worldwide, and he is a silent spectator to all this happening. It's shameful that India has been completely let down and looted legally, and organized plundering is going on, and people are being killed. It is a medical conspiracy of global level, and India will be the biggest sufferer in the process. Of course, Africa also will suffer, but its population is less compared to ours. So we have to educate, explore, experience, educate the whole of people of this country and see that all those politicians who are party to these things, they should be thrown out of politics itself. And a new beginning has to come forward. And a new era of people's participation and decision making, that is Prajakiyam, is the only savior for this country. Better if people realize faster, it will be better for them, for the nation, and for the future of our citizens, future citizens also. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, we will try to wind up the show. This is because there are many evidences. Again, don't misunderstand us because he is an elderly man, and he sat very silently through all these evidences. With Professor Ramesh Reddy garu, you have been sending me. Again, there will be another show. We will wait for the response at least now. We have evidence to the entire Indian nation. Every state by state, people have to understand these are the evidences. Why Anand Daya's Ayurveda Corona medicine is not being even looked at. Shamefully, this is a shame when we say India's indigenous, make in India. It is make in India in our own Krishnapatnam, Nellore. And he is very clearly stating that yes, this medicine works. 70 to 80,000 have been taken this medicine. You could have explored, scientifically validated. But you have not done that. Where is the scientific validation for treatment protocols? Now, after watching all these evidences, people will understand who is dictating, why they are dictating, and what for. Where are the scientific validation for corona treatment protocols or vaccinations? Now that it stands exposed, without consent, are you doing anything? There is no liability and compensation angle for the vaccinations also. Why is that when someone is coming forward and when Indians are expressing faith, and this would become a global medicine because it's a global village. We are all concerned with the health of each and every citizen on this mother planet. When such is the case, when something which is indigenous, harmless, and see the pathetic aspect of it, the eye medicine is still stopped by the Andhra Pradesh government. In spite of Dr. TSPR channel putting all these ingredients by the world-renowned botanists, world-renowned biodiversity specialists, you are still maintaining a draconian silence. When people are getting killed, you won't say you are extending lockdowns. Why is that you are not trying to use our own medicine? Our Honorable Prime Minister, thankful to him, yes, free vaccination. Why not free Anand Daya's Corona medicine? Our topic was whether the world is really in safe hands. Now, whether the world, India or states are in safe hands, it is for people to judge, understand, because we are a constitutional authority by ourselves. Right to life and liberty in our hands. Concluding statement from Ramesh Reddy garu.
Yeah, as you said, people should take decision, rely upon the information that we are providing and what is available, and also understand the evil intentions of the global partners in this, and understand even our national partners who are hoodwinking our politicians, who are trying to hoodwink our people. But I am sure nature has a wonderful ways of behaving, and it will definitely ensure that this sort of exploitation cannot be carried on, and Anand Daya medicine will become a household medicine for the entire populace of India. I am sure we will succeed in that pursuit, and we will try to keep pursuing like this in more forums and more place, and keep writing about all these things. And today's recordings also and yesterday's recording we will pass on to the whole world, and I have a lot of information, lot of people's groups are there. I will pass on 25,000 groups are there with me. I will definitely ensure that it passes on to the every nook and corner of this world. Thank you very much, sir, for this opportunity.
Wonderful, sir. Wonderful. Wonderful, sir. We are a blessed soul in your presence. We have once again come put all the facts out. We said 2DG. Come on, this has been represented by already German scientists, researchers, and that is how 2DG drug has evolved. The pathway also, it is not antiviral. How it works in moderate and critical illness, we have put it out. We have put it across in a proper way, scientific way, with PowerPoint presentations. Till this day, you have not come out with clarification. Same with Kiran Mazumdar and Sadhguruji Foundation. Spike proteins, you said it will not mutate. I said it is wrong. with scientific evidences, we have brought it out. Till this day, you are very, very silent. Likewise, right from Corona, right from 2020, we have been doing the same. We are trying to bring out all the material facts, whether it is vaccination or treatment protocols. When such is the case, now today, we thought of bringing it out. Why Anandaya's medicine, Ayurveda's medicine, is not being spoken about by Union Minister or Honorable Prime Minister of India? For that reason, we wanted to research. We searched. The reasons were very clearly in front of you. I'm thankful to Ramesh Reddy Garu also, who has really cooperated a lot. We said, yes, let us put out these facts to the public. Let people investigate. And the people who matter in there, you are most welcome to join this show. If you have anything more to claim and more to counter, you are most welcome, because this channel and this show is clearly runs with the tagline, no enmity against individual nor enmity against any organization or parties. Issue as per rule of law, constitution, invoking in evidential act. This show runs in larger public interest. That too, when health is wealth, when people's health matters, we are always there. Likewise on all the other issues. So at least now people understand and start questioning government on Anandaya's Ayurveda medicine. And don't forget the logic of Dr. TSPR channel. Every household should have a medicinal plant. Our own medicinal plant grown in our own country, to say tomorrow no one will ask for patency, as has been happening with our own neem tree, Azadiracta indica. Be smart enough. Try to protect our lives in our own hands. Get well informed. If you informed, you will become responsible. Once you become responsible, you will become a constitutional authority, because this country runs on the taxes paid by you, and it should be only in the welfare and interest of the people of India. Rest are all public servants. They are mandated to be in that service itself. Thank you, sir, once again. Take care. Good night. Sukha Nidra, Shubharatri to all Indians. Yep. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to Globe.
Okay.
See you.
Bye.
Right.
Bye.